everyone! Thanks for tuning into my show. Winter's around the corner and I've been busy making tons of beanies like this one here, and I can't wait to share with you this beautiful pattern today. I call this the Alpine Beanie, but it's also known as the diamond waffle or diamond trestle stitch. It's a bit more of an advanced pattern. We will be working in the round and using variations of double crochet and post stitches. If you've never worked in the round or just starting out crochet, I would start with an easier beanie pattern and come back to this one because like I said, it's definitely a little bit more advanced, but once you get the hang of it, it's really fun and addicting to do. I'll be making an adult size hat for today. You could also make a kid size. Look how cute this is. The instructions for the kid size is almost the same, and I'll include that as I go. The written pattern will also be available on my website, ilj.com, as well as several beanies for sale if you would like to purchase one. But for now, let's gather some materials. Don't forget to hit subscribe and let's get started. The materials you need today include 200 yards of any medium weight yarn of your choice. The faux fur pom-pom is optional. I just got this online and it has a little elastic loop here to attach to our beanie. This is going to be detachable so we can wash our beanie. Some also have the snaps, but this one has an elastic, and we're going to hook it on to a button on the inside, so you need a little button. You need a regular needle and thread, a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, and I'm using a size 4mm crochet hook today. That's good for the adult size or the baby size hat. If you want to size up to either the toddler size or the extra large adult, just size up to a 5mm hook. And just to show you an example really quick, this is the baby size hat. It's about 14 to 16 inch circumference, and if you size up to the 5mm for the toddler size, it's a little bit bigger for 16 to 18 inch circumference. So there's the child size and the adult size, and if you want a smaller or large, you would just do either a size 4 or 5mm hook. So let's get our yarn and let's get going. Okay, there are two ways to start this pattern. You could either do a slip knot, chain 4, and do a slip stitch in the first chain to close the loop, and then you'd be working in the center of the loop there. Alternatively, you could just do a magic circle, put the end there, 2 fingers, I wrap the yarn around this way, making an X on the front, go underneath the first, pull up a loop, and then chain 3. So start with chain 3 in the center of either loop, however you did it. Okay. And now we're going to do 12 double crochet stitches right into the center. That chain 3 will count as our first, so go ahead and do 11 more double crochet. 2, 3, 4. It's a little wonky to hold on to, but you can tighten it a little bit. 2, 3, 4. Once you have your 12 stitches, do a slip stitch in that one to third chain, also known as our first stitch, to close the round. And you can tighten this center a little bit. Perfect. And now to start round 2, we're going to chain 3. And now we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch, so we will have 24 stitches at the end of this round. And this will again count as our first stitch, and we're going to go ahead and do another double crochet right into that same stitch that our chain's coming out of. So that'll be 1 and 2. Now go ahead and do 2 double crochet into each stitch all the way around. Once you've gone all the way around, double check to make sure you have the 24 stitches. 21, 22, 23, 24 will be that chain 3 that we started with. So close the round again by doing a slip stitch into that top chain. All right, now round 3, we're going to chain 3. We're going to do 2 double crochet into that first stitch, and that counts the chain 3. So go ahead and do 1 more into that very first stitch. And then into the second stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet, and that's right here. So don't miss that one. These two are kind of close together. So go ahead and do 1 into the next stitch. And then you're going to do 2 double crochet into the one after that. And then 1 into the next. And we're just going to go 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around. So you should have 36 stitches at the end of this round. So I'll do 2 into the next. And then 1 into the one after that. You should be ending your round with that 1 double crochet as your 36th stitch, and go ahead and do a slip stitch into that third chain to close the round. Now we will begin round 4. This time we're going to chain 1. Alright, this is where we start getting into our post stitches, and this is also where the kid size is going to be slightly different than the adult size, so I will just tell you what to do. Start with the yarn over, and now look at your work here. We're going to go do our first post stitch right into this first post above where our chain is. So we're going to go right behind this whole double crochet post from the previous round. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Alright, that's our first post, and now we're going to go ahead and do another post around that same spot. So just repeat what you just did. Yarn over, go back around that same post again, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that was 2 front posts on that first stitch. And now do a double crochet into the next stitch, normal. If you're doing the kid size, you would do 1 more double crochet into the next stitch. And if you're doing the adult size, we're going to go ahead and do another 2 front post double crochet into the next. So the only difference here between the child and the adult size is adult, I'm going to go straight into the next 2 posts, again just like how we did this one, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. It's kind of tucked back here a little bit, so don't skip that. So for the adult size, we're going to continue that repeat with 2 front post double crochet followed by 1 double crochet. And if you're doing the kids, you would do 2 front post crochet followed by 2 double crochet and repeat that. So the adult is every other stitch you're doing that double front post, and for the kid size you're doing it every 3rd stitch. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm doing the adult size, so I'm going to go ahead and do another 2 front posts around that same post, and then 1 double crochet. In the kids you would just do 2 double crochets like that in between. Okay, I'll just undo that one because I'm doing the adult. We'll do another post. just continue that pattern all the way around. Again, you don't want to miss this. It kind of gets hidden back here a little bit, so don't miss a stitch there. This is what we have at the end of round 4. If you're doing the adult size, you should have 54 stitches and 18 sets of these 2 front post double crochet. If you're doing the kid size, you should have ended up with 48 stitches and 12 sets of these 2 front post double crochet. Okay, and we end the round the same way. Do a slip stitch, this first stitch here. Okay, and now for round 5, we're just going to do a round of double crochet. So chain 3, that counts as our first stitch, and just do 1 double crochet into each stitch. So 54 if you're doing an adult, and 48 if you're doing the kid size. Just do 1 in each stitch all the way around. Here we are at the end of row 5. We're going to end with a slip stitch into that top chain. Now it kind of looks like we have 1 more stitch here, but that's where our chain's coming out of. So just do your slip stitch and always double count your stitches to make sure you have the right amount. That's 54 for the adult and 48 for the kids size so far. And now we'll start row 6, and this is where things get kind of complicated, but bear with me because it's just a repeat. So once you get it, you got it, and you'll be fine for the rest of the pattern. Okay, so we start row 6 with a chain 1, and now what we're doing is front post treble crochet 2 together. Now that was a mouthful, and it looks kind of scary at first, but I'll show you. So we're doing treble crochet posts now, so yarn over twice. And right where, locate your posts from row 4. And you're gonna go with your hook all the way down and back a little bit. And you're gonna go behind this post on the left and pull your yarn through, pull the yarn through 2, pull the yarn through 2, and now you're going to hold here. So it's an incomplete front post treble crochet, and now, because we're doing 2 together, we're going to yarn over 2 more times now and go into this post here. So you're picking up 1 from this one, doing incomplete treble crochet, and then going in to pick up this post, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we'll finish those 2 stitches together and pull through the last 3 loops on our hook. Boom. That's the stitch. I'm going to show you one more time because it's kind of a lot. Alright, we started with chain 1, yarn over twice. We're going to do a front post treble crochet from this one down here, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, you should have 2 loops on your hook now, yarn over twice again, and now go to this next post diagonally down here, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and complete the stitch, pull through the last 3. Alright, so that's the most complicated part of this whole pattern, but you'll get the hang of it, and it's really fun. So in between these treble crochet posts, we're going to do 3 single crochets. So if you're doing the adult pattern, you're going to look behind and you're going to start in that next stitch. So go ahead and do 3 single crochets. If you're doing the kid size, you're going to skip that stitch, that first stitch. And the reason we do that is because in the adult size, we're still increasing. We're going to increase to 72 stitches. So we're going to include that stitch behind our post. But for the kid size, we're no longer increasing. So you're going to skip that stitch for the kid size and we're going to include it for the adult size. 1, 2, and 3. So you'll do 3 single crochet no matter which size you're doing. And now we're going to do another front post treble crochet 2 together. I'll show you one more time. And you should notice that you're like in between these 2 sets. So that's exactly where you want to be, right in between these 2 posts. Yarn over twice. Go all the way down and pick up this post. We're going right behind it. Pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 2 hooks, 2 loops on our hook now. We're going to repeat that. Yarn over twice. Now go down and pick up this post in the next set. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, now again, look behind you. See, we already did that stitch. So if you're doing the adult, you're going to go single crochet 3 starting in this one. If you're doing the child, you're going to skip 1 and do 3 single crochet starting in the next. Okay, so 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. So this is just a 4 stitch repeat on this round. Do your front post treble crochet 2 together. Once you get it, you just got to get a flow on and then you'll be set. All right. So those are creating these little V's for our diamond trellises. And continue with that pattern all the way around. So for the adult size, you would have 18 sets of these trellises. For the kid size, you'd have 12, and we're always doing 3 single crochet in between. Hopefully that's making sense. I'll show you again. Yarn over twice. Pick up this post. Again. All right, so just continue that all the way around. This is what we have at the end of row 6. If you made it this far, excellent job. That's as complicated as this pattern gets. You should end your row with those 3 single crochets followed by a slip stitch into that first post stitch we did. And now round 7 is just another round of all double crochet. So chain 3, that will count as our first stitch. And go ahead and do a double crochet into each stitch. So that's 72 for the adult size and 48 for the kid size. Just go all the way around and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, here we are at the end of round 7. I ended with a slip stitch into that top chain, and then we will chain 1 to begin round 8. So round 8 is going to be just like round 6. We're going to alternate rows between doing trellis rows and double crochet rows. So every odd row is all double crochet and every even row will be a trellis row. And this is just like row 6, except as you can see, we are right above our trellis here and we want to be right in between them. So we're going to start with 2 single crochet. 1, 2, and now we're gonna do our front post treble crochet 2 together. So yarn over twice, and this time you see these 2 down here, we're gonna go underneath both of them like this, and then we're gonna pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, now we're going to go pick up this one. So with 2 loops still on your hook, yarn over twice. And again, now we're picking up both of these. So we're going right underneath both, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, finish that by pulling through all 3. Okay. So now look behind your work again. No matter what size you're doing now, we're going to skip that stitch behind our post because we are no longer increasing. 72 stitches is the max we're going to do for the adult size. So we're going to now skip that stitch behind and we're going to do 3 single crochet starting in the next one. So go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, and again you should be pretty much in between these 2 trellises below, and go ahead and do that trellis front post treble crochet 2 together. And from this point, see, now we have 3 here. We're going to do the same thing we did before, though. We're just going to pick up these bottom 2 at the same time. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and yarn over twice, and now go this side under both again. So we're kind of picking up right here. Pull up a loop, pull through 2, through 2, and through all 3. Again, we're going to skip 1 stitch where that post is, and we're going to do 3 single crochet. Alright, now we're just going to repeat that all the way around. And it will be the same if you're doing the kids or adult size. The only difference is that kids has 48 stitches and the adult has 72. Again, picking up both. When we get to the end of round 8 and you've done your last trellis, we're going to end the row with a single crochet. So don't forget to skip 1, and we're going to squeeze in 1 more right there. Because remember, we started with 2 single crochet, so to complete the pattern we want to end with 1 and then do a slip stitch in that first single crochet that we did. Okay, row 9 is going to be another row of all double crochet, because now we're alternating between rows of double crochet and trellis rows. So do another row of double crochet, starting with chain 3. Okay, we just finished round 9 and we're starting round 10. We will be alternating rounds between trellis rounds and double crochet rounds. And on the trellis rounds, we'll also be alternating pretty much between round 6 and round 8. So what I mean by that is round 10, we're going to start just like round 6 where we did chain 1, yarn over twice, and do your front post treble crochet 2 together. And then we're now skipping, for every trellis round, we're now skipping that stitch behind your post. So that's actually here. We'll go 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then again with your trellis. So for the trellis rows, we're alternating between either starting directly with the trellis or doing 2 single crochets, then the trellis, and then the 3 single crochets, and ending with 1 single crochet at the end. So hopefully that's making sense. Let me know if you guys have any questions below in the comments, and I will get back to you. I know this pattern's a little tricky to get at first, but just keep counting your stitches and go back and rewind the video if you need to. The written pattern is also available on my website, ilj.com, as well as the hats, so you can go ahead and check that out. Sometimes seeing the pattern written out is a little bit easier for some people, so go check that out. And I'll meet back up with you when I'm just about done with the hat. Okay, so this is what my beanie looks like after I did 22 rounds of trellis stitching and then an additional 3 rounds of just single crochet here at the bottom to give it kind of a nice border. This is good for a standard adult size, and depending on if you use the same weight yarn or same size hook as me, you may need to do additional or less rounds. So just give your hat a try on. That's the best way to see if it fits, or give it a measurement. So this is let's see, 10, so 20. This is like 20 and stretches to 24 inches in total. So that's good for most sizes. And now we can cut our end here and weave in our end. This is where we'll use our yarn needle. So pull your tail end through that last loop. Thread your needle. And I always do it from the back. Oh, can you see this? Just go back and forth at least once with your needle. Alright, give it a little tug. Now you can trim your end. And now I will just show you quickly what I do to sew on the pom-pom. So grab your pom-pom. And if you're using one that I am and it has the little elastic here, I'm just going to kind of explain and show you what to do here. So see that hole at the top of your hat? Okay, with your crochet hook, go in from the center, and through that hole, just you're gonna like bring the elastic through, and then on the inside, see we have it here. Now you're gonna go ahead and sew a button, just a little button on the inside, which is a needle and thread, or maybe even with your yarn here if you can, but a needle and thread might be easier. And I'm not going to explain how to sew on a button in this tutorial, but Assuming you know how to sew on a button, you just sew it on the inside and you loop the elastic around it. And that way it will be removable so you can wash your beanie and not ruin your pom-pom. How awesome is that? So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date on my latest projects. Thanks for watching.